All right, in three, two, one. Welcome back to the Comic Book Bullies. We're Nerd is the New Bully. I'm your host, Leroy, with my co-host.
This is Eli.
Yep. And Eli, I want to tell you happy St. Patrick's Day. That just passed whenever.
Well, top of the morning to you.
Exactly. We'll play House of Pain at the end of it or something. Jump around. Now, the reason, even though St. Patrick's Day was, I guess, the 17th or something, I just Googled it real quick.
Yeah, that shit was last week.
It was last week. Well, in my town, we just had the parade Saturday. So I guess
Oh,
we're
yeah?
behind the time. So I guess, yeah. So had a bunch of black people running around in green outfits, drinking green beer, eating green food, shitting green shit, the next day. So I guess it was a glorious time I had to work that day, but hey, it was pretty cool. So Eli, let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever do you celebrate St. Patrick's Day?
Not at all.
Really?
No.
Any reason why not?
Well, for one thing, I don't drink, so that's one reason.
That would be one.
Another reason, I used to work at a bar.
What did you get? Like I don't know, like
So
PTSD from?
Yeah, I've had to work, and the St. Patty's Day parade went right in front of our bar. So yeah, for many years, a good decade, St. Patty's Day sucked.
Okay, so you couldn't do it. I was just trying to make
and
sure.
they all went out, and my bar was like a club too, so they had a stage and there was bands that could play. So, and of course, every St. Patty's Day, the bar would book all the shittiest cover bands, and I'd be stuck there all day. Have to work the parade early in the morning, and then stay there all day while the drunks listen to watch white people dance to play that funky music.
Or House of Pain.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So,
yeah, Brick House. Yeah, there's nothing sadder than a bunch of drunk white people dancing to Brick House.
I think it's funny, me personally. But I was just wondering that because I just wanted to make sure if you didn't associate, if you didn't celebrate St. Patrick's Day because you was woke.
Oh, because it's cultural appropriation.
Cultural appropriation.
Sure, I'll do it. Yeah, that's my excuse. I want to be woke.
Exactly. So you're woke. I'm glad about that. So we're getting this thing about you're not allowed to celebrate other people's culture. You're not to celebrate St. Patrick's Day unless you're Irish. If you're black, you can't do that because blah blah blah, whatever reason. They give you the side eye if you're drunk as shit. Taking pictures of yourself wearing a green outfit. Kiss me, I'm Irish. You're like, how you gonna do that when you don't celebrate Juneteenth? Like. This is me. I'm partying. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna party like I'm Irish on St. Patrick's Day, and guess what? We're gonna go through the same bullshit on Cinco de Mayo.
Oh yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
I don't celebrate that either.
Well, you're woke, so you don't celebrate. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna be drunk as fuck like I'm a Mexican. There's probably some bear on the floor dancing around with Teela McCann. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna be drunk as fuck. So, and this is my thing. Like I said, we celebrate St. Patrick's Day. We celebrate Cinco de Mayo. When people say why we don't celebrate Juneteenth, can I be honest, Eli?
I don't even know what Juneteenth is.
Okay, there
I'm
you
so
go.
woke, man. I'm so woke.
You're so woke. Like I said, Juneteenth is coming. For those that don't know, Juneteenth is basically the first. We're gonna get to the nerd tops in a second, but I'm gonna just clear up what Juneteenth is. Juneteenth is the emancipation, basically the anniversary of the first state to emancipate the slaves, which is Texas.
Really, Texas?
Yeah, in Texas. Keep in mind, this was not nationwide. All slaves were not, emancipated all at the same time. It was just Texas was the first one to do it, and then it kind of rolled out into other states also. Now, in my state of Mississippi, Eli, do you know when slavery was abolished in Mississippi?
Last week.
2013.
Really?
I'm not even joking. You can look this up. It was abolished in 2013. So that's the thing we have going now. But the reason I want to get real with Juneteenth because Cinco de Mayo, you get drunk. St. Patrick's Day, you get drunk. What do you do on Juneteenth? Nobody knows. Do you get drunk? I mean, is that right to get drunk? We're woke.
Yeah.
Can you be drunk and woke at the same time?
I don't know, man. Ask Twitter.
I guess so. I'm gonna ask Twitter, see how Black Twitter responds to Juneteenth, and we will move accordingly because it just feels weird. Like everybody else just parties and have fun, but it feel like you do it on Juneteenth. It feel like you're, I don't know, betraying the holiday, something like that. You just can't have Do you have a cookout? Do you know?
Better find out what the rules are. You don't
I
want to
don't
get
know what the
canceled.
rules are. I don't know how to celebrate Juneteenth, so I got to
Yeah,
figure this out.
Yeah, you don't want to get canceled, man.
Right. Like I said, I got March, April, so I got 2 more months, 2 real months to figure this thing out how to celebrate Juneteenth. Don't worry, listeners. Once I figure it out, I will give you the proper rules on how to celebrate Juneteenth. So if you are supposed to get drunk as shit on that day, I will allow it that day if it's part of the rules. If not, don't do it. It's wrong. White people, if you want to celebrate Juneteenth, do it. It's not cultural appropriation. Just don't show up in blackface. I feel like I have to say this every time. Oh man, just so I make sure I do my part.
Hey, that's what I got to do. That safe shit every October.
Like, please just don't do this. You can celebrate. It's okay to celebrate. You know.
Well, can I? Is it okay to dress up as like Black Panther on Halloween? Like just don't.
You can wear
blackface underneath.
Just don't wear blackface underneath it. That's all.
Yeah.
Good ass. There's high quality H2O. Now, next part of the news. Now we got this. Now this other thing has gone viral that I want to talk about and kind of clear up because people have seen about it but don't really know about it. And this is that that CableTV.com advertisements been going around where they've been trying to give you a job to watch all Marvel movies. You just binge watch Marvel movies and they give you $1,000. They'd be like, okay, well yeah, that sounds like easy money. Hell, I binge watched it on December, the whole thing. For free. But now they're gonna pay me to do it. Sign me up. But wait, Eli, it's a little bit more complicated than that. But most people don't read the fine print.
Some work.
There's actually some work into it. It's not just I'm gonna just sit on my ass and watch movies and that's it. No, not that easy. I actually applied for it. I'm gonna tell you the whole process of what I did to apply. Like I said, they wanted you to make like a short video essay, explain yourself, short video interview, explaining yourself, list your credentials, list your social media platforms, and list how many followers you have. And the thing is, most people aren't paying attention to. They're not just gonna give $1,000 to everybody. They're gonna give $1,000 to one person. It's a contest, but they didn't say it was a contest.
Yeah.
So it's whoever they pick. After they pick you, then you watch the movie. Then you have to actually talk about the movies and commentate on the movies while you're watching them, while you're live tweeting or live streaming, things like that. And you have to hashtag that cable network also when you're doing it. So it's not just as simple, like I'm going to just sit up there, just watch movies and collect $1,000. No, it's not like that. You probably won't even get picked. Yeah, unless you're probably like a media personality, you're probably going to get passed over anyway.
It'll probably be like fucking Logan Paul or something.
Exactly. That's what I'm gonna say, like Ninja, some shit like that, So unless you have that type of following, you're wasting your time. I'm sorry. Comic book bullies, geeks have, we're probably not there yet,
Yeah. I'll tell the 2 listeners out there.
Exactly. Now, Comic Cast, they have a chance. Adam Wade Adams, I'm giving you
Valiant too, man.
Exactly.
Shout out to Get Valiant.
Shout out to Get Valiant has a chance.
Yeah, man. Even though Marvel sucks, fuck that shit.
But Bloodshot, Vin Diesel. Oh yeah, we love all these guys, but yeah, that's why we take shots at them all the time. I do want to say this, Adam Wade Adams. If you do win the contest, you better split that shit with us because we just gave you a shout out. So we probably the ones that got you hired. So. Let me say, can we actually get into the podcast? We got a lot of shit we got to run through.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, hold on. Let's see. Let's pull up these box office numbers. We need an intermission before we go to that. Okay, here we go. Eli, give it to me. What is the #1 movie of the week?
U.S. Us.
Yes. Us. And we will talk about that in a second, like I said, because we actually got a chance to both see the movie. Yeah,
not together.
Not together. Nah, we would have, but we stay too far away. So I watched it. Eli watched it. Eli, you actually wrote a review, or not even a review, like a breakdown of it.
I wrote an analysis. I wanted to do something on it just because it's the hot shit.
Okay,
right
so
now,
you didn't do a review. You did a critique.
Yeah, I broke it down. I was gonna write a review, but there are already 2 people on Outright Geekery already wrote reviews.
Right,
so
and they always do this shit before the movie comes out. Like, how the fuck are you saying this shit?
Yeah. So I was like, well, I want to get on the Us train.
Right.
So I was like, you know what? I'll write an analysis. So I got all artsy and pretentious and,
Because that's what we do.
And yeah, there you go, man.
But like I said, I didn't read it on purpose. Now I was gonna read it after, like I said, we talked because I didn't want your opinion to influence anything I was gonna say. But after we're done, I'm definitely gonna go back and read. Matter of fact, you guys go and read the analysis also. It's on the Comic Book Bullies Facebook page. Click it, read it. I'm pretty sure Eli got some insights on it. You will know because he's gonna talk about it right now. We will talk about
Yeah, and that's the thing. It is just an insight into the underlying subtext of the movie, which I observed. My observation. It does not reflect my opinion on the movie at all.
Right.
So
two different things. So, but we will get to us in a second. We're gonna go down and listen and see what other movies we have on there. Number 2, we have Captain Marvel. Number 3, we have Wonder Park, whatever the fuck that is. Number 4, 5 Feet Apart. Number 5, How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World. Number 6, Tyler Perry's A Madea Funeral. Eli dropped the ball. You still didn't seen that yet. Where is my critique on that movie? Since you're so woke.
That's cultural appropriation. I can't go to see that.
Not if there's a powwow in it.
Is there a powwow in it?
I don't know. Number
if I go see it and there's no powwow in it, I'm gonna be pissed.
Then that's cultural appropriation, right? Sometimes you gotta roll the dice. Number 7, we have No Manches Frida 2. There it is. Number 8, Gloria Bell. Number 9, The Lego Movie 2, the second part. And number 10, Alita Battle Angel. Okay.
Right. You know what I noticed?
What's that?
I went and bought a can of Arizona iced tea the other day.
Oh, that shit's delicious.
And it was a Battle Angel was on it.
What?
And it had a picture of her and shit. Like, I guess Arizona iced tea got a Battle Angel endorsement.
Well, that's pretty damn good. Here's my thing. What happened to all the licensed video games attachments used to go with these movies? There used to be nothing. Every time a movie came out that was sci-fi, something like that, there was a shitty video game that came with it. Now you don't see that stuff anymore.
No, man. Yeah, because I remember renting the Thor game back in
It took them like 2 weeks.
Has it been 10 years? Holy shit! God damn it!
Yeah, all those Phase 1 movies had a video game to it. Captain America had one. Hulk had one. Actually, the Captain America one was actually pretty fun.
I didn't play that. I rented the Thor game though.
Yeah, Incredible Hulk had one. Iron Man had one. Oh, that game sucked.
I didn't play that either.
IGN had their review on there. This game is the reason Tony Stark drinks. But no Battle Angel Alita. You think that would be a shoe-in? You shit out a crappy game, give you 2 weeks to do it, cash in on it, and there you go.
Yeah, I remember those days. You know, my kid would see a movie, I want to play the game. Like Tron, I had to buy the shitty Tron game, and
right, because it didn't matter how bad the game was. Remember the Matrix games? Matrix Revolution?
Oh, yeah, I did.
Those games fucking suck. Everybody played them. And
I just played them, watched the movies and shit. There was like extra scenes in the movies.
Right. They had like deleted scenes that were in there, gave you more insight of it. But people just swore up and down those games were good. Those games fucking suck. You don't believe me? Go on YouTube right now and Google those games and look at them. You'll be like, oh, damn, that game did suck.
Yeah, they're just shitty Max Payne knockoffs.
Exactly. So that's all they were. Before we get to us, I do want to talk about Captain Marvel. I'm actually throwing a Hail Mary, and I'm just going to throw a quick topic I just saw earlier. Eli, I want to get your opinion on it. Okay. So, Comic Book Resources, which is another, I guess, a rival website to us. Not really, because we don't really rival them. But they put out an article basically saying, I didn't click it, I just saw the clickbait on it, basically saying that Captain Marvel should be gay, to further, add to diversity and bullshit like that.
To be woke.
To be more, the more woke guy. They used to say go woke, go broke. But she's about to be a $1 billion franchise. So obviously you can't go broke if you woke now. So yeah, she's already a white woman. I didn't say they're making a gay white woman. They saying they should put out a petition to make her gay. But Eli, here's my thing. Wasn't she already gay?
I don't know. Was she?
I don't know. You didn't get that, I don't know, context clues from watching the movie?
Nah, man, I don't.
Was I the only one that saw it? Because I was going to bring it up in our actual official review, but we talked so much about the movie, that kind of slipped past my mind. But watching that movie, I did get a hint that the movie was trying to imply or suggest that she was gay.
Yeah, I didn't look that hard.
Oh, you're killing me. Okay, let me break it down.
It's a Disney movie, man.
They have gay character Jafar from Aladdin.
He was gay?
I don't know. It could have been, but I know people will say it is like. But anyway, here's my thing. Now, like I said, you see Monica showing pictures of Auntie Carol, and they're all in Christmas, they're all in birthday parties, they're all going go-karting. And I'm just like, that is peculiar. I'll put it like that. It reminded me of, okay, you know how in family dinners and Thanksgiving you have that one aunt, the single aunt that always bring her best friend to Thanksgiving?
Not me personally, but
not you personally, but you've seen family dinners or you heard about family dinners where that happens.
Yeah, I think I've seen a sitcom or two.
Right, it's a sitcom or two that happens.
Table for Five or Table of what's that show called?
Party of Five.
Party of Five.
Yeah, one of those stories like that, but it's like nobody really says it. It's just like that elephant in the room, but we're just gonna ignore it for right now. That's what that felt like to me. Like it's there, but we're not gonna talk about it.
Yeah, I didn't. Okay, man. I'm woke, man.
You're the woke one. You're the woke one of the comic book bullies. You're too woke for St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there. Even first time I'm watching the movie, I'm like, okay, is the movie gonna do anything to make us think that she's not gay? Are they gonna have like a male love interest pop up anywhere in the past, something like that? Nope.
Didn't you say that last week you were saying Thor was trying to fuck her?
Yeah, Thor was trying to. You can still want to fuck a gay chick.
Okay.
Wait, can I say that on this podcast? I guess I can. Ryan, delete that if it's too much. Yeah, but you can still want to. I mean, like I said, it happens all the time, but that didn't mean she want to fuck him. So she already wasn't impressed by his hammer.
I just thought that last week. I thought that was going to be the thing, that Thor and Captain Marvel were going to be
now. If that's the narrative, if that happens, then it just completely destroys my narrative I just had right then, and I'm fine with that. Like if they kill Thanos and they just go at each other right there in the middle of the universe, okay, then my theory is out the window. But if they don't, you might be, because she already wasn't impressed by his hammer.
Her and Hela. There you go. Like, Thor, you're not my type, but her, on the other hand. I'd buy that for $1.
Okay, so that's my only thing I was thinking about that. It was just like people were saying that, Captain Marvel should be gay. And I'm like, well, she might have been. But at the same time, I personally feel, and I think I'm putting my personal agenda in this, I don't think stuff like that should be announced. If that's her business, that's her business.
Yeah.
Like, what difference does it make if she's gay? Is they going to make her whoop Thanos' ass any less if she is? Or more?
I think there's a representation thing going on.
Okay, I get you.
They want to claim, then the gay population can claim them,
That's true. They could have the first gay superhero, they can hold up with a pride flag, stuff like that. I guess, but I don't know. Whatever. Yeah. I feel like leave it open ended. Here's the thing. Yeah. Okay, we were just talking about Community last week, right?
Yeah.
And like I said, I watched the entire thing, and you remember Dean from Community, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, we talked about Dean. Now Dean, they for like the first 5 seasons like that, they never really explained Dean's sexuality. It was always played for laughs, but you never really knew what was going on with him. But in season 6, they flat out confirmed it then.
Yeah, I thought they confirmed it from the get-go.
They never confirmed it. It was always
it was implied, but
strongly implied. But he never just came out and said it, right? Right, but he was always cross-dressing. He had the hospital. Jeff and Troy. He used to go at Troy all the time also. But they never actually came out and said it. But in season 6, they confirmed it. Like, yeah, he's gay, but he was like, I'm more than gay. He kept saying that, like that. So I'm thinking like some of that stuff, maybe should be left open-ended. If you want Captain America to be Marvel to be a gay character, let it be a gay character. She's not. Whatever.
Yeah.
So
you still got the CW.
Right, where every character is gay.
Everybody's gay. I don't think there's straight people on that show.
Right. They need more representation of straight people. All right, let's start back like comic gators. Let's go to the review. Okay, Us. Let's talk about Us. Ooh, there's a lot to unpack, Eli. I've been talking about this damn movie all weekend.
You haven't?
No, I have. I have been talking about this movie all weekend. Just every single thing broke down. And here's what I'm starting to realize. Now, let's talk about the actual what people are saying online about this movie.
Yeah.
I'm hearing mixed reviews. So basically what I'm seeing, if you like the movie, you're smart, if you don't like the movie, you're dumb. That's
So,
pretty much what
is that what they're saying?
That's what they're saying. Yeah.
Well, I challenged anybody on that fucking idea.
I'm just saying that's what they're saying. That's the whole spiel of what I'm getting from the internet right now. So anybody that doesn't like the movie, there you get this other class. Oh, you just don't get it. You don't get it. You just like to have some spoon fed for you. You just want to be entertained. I'm like, isn't that what a movie is for?
Well, I wrote a film analysis to prove them wrong.
Okay, now Eli, I'm gonna let you go because before I let you loose and just go ahead and get in on this movie, I just want to get a disclaimer. For instance, like I said, we've been seeing all kind of analysis and think pieces already online and stuff like that. We're not here for that. Honestly, I don't give a fuck about that. You think whatever you want to about the movie, because a lot of these fan theories you guys coming up with are full of shit. I don't know what the hell you guys think. Some of you guys are overthinking this movie. That's what I think.
Not me. Go read mine. Outright Geekery. Check us out. We geek out. Clackety clackety clow.
We geek out. Ding. We're gonna trademark something. We don't know what it is. So Gomer can make all the money off us. But what we're here for is just to actually talk about the movie. We're not gonna overanalyze it or over-explain it, or even though Eli is the woke one, we're just gonna talk about the movie.
I can.
I know you can.
I can totally bust the shit open,
Right. And the reason I brought you in, Eli, because this movie is more your wheelhouse. Now, this is like a horror movie. I'm gonna leave it up to you whether or not you consider horror movie now, but I'm just saying it's in that genre that is kind of outside my wheelhouse. And since that's your thing, I know you're gonna have more insight on this movie than I did.
Okay.
So I'm gonna just let you give it to me, your thoughts on it, or whatever you think about the movie, and just let it rip.
Okay. Well, I liked it, but not as much as everybody else does.
Okay.
Like I thought it was okay, because leading up to it, certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, us, and all weekend I've been hearing everybody rave about how great it was, and I enjoyed it, but I didn't think it was that good. You know what I'm saying? I had a good time watching it. I saw it with a hype-ass crowd. The theater was packed. They were fucking laughing. It was a lot of fun. But I kind of felt the third act kind of fell apart.
Okay.
I felt that as a horror movie, they could have pushed it a little more.
Okay.
But other than that, I did have a good time watching it. I don't think I need to see it again. It didn't have the same impact as Get Out did. The same what the fuck moment in Get Out. Like, I was, holy shit, that came from out of nowhere. And this movie just like, oh, okay, all right, that was about it. It didn't have that same impact that Get Out did, which I guess for me, maybe the movie was overhyped in that sense. So that kind of was a little disappointing, but I guess the movie works for me. The movie is more of a political statement, and that's a thing. I hear all this shit about it doesn't really have much commentary. It's not in your face. And for me, yeah, it was. To me, this was more of a political statement and less of a movie.
I got you. Yeah, it was more of a metaphor than actual like plot and things like that.
Yes, and I can go on and on about all the political statements it made. I wrote a piece on it. Go check it out on Outright Geekery about all the references and the subtext that's going on in the film. But as a movie, I thought it was just okay. As the plot and the storyline, the tension, I felt it was a slow burn, and then the second act blew up, and I was into it. But then when we got to the third act, the steam was let out a little bit. The tension kind of waned towards the end. So I don't know how far do you want to go? Do you want to take over here, or?
Well, I mean, can you give me a score?
I'll give it. Okay. I'll give it a
Black Twitter's listening. Be careful.
3.8 out of 5. It's not quite amazing, but it's better than average, but not great.
Okay.
Which is that's hard to, on the internet when everything's awesome or sucks.
Right. Everything's binary.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Ones and zeros.
But it's more towards good and less towards suck.
Makes sense. Okay.
You know what I mean?
So, but you're still giving a passing score overall.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I had a good time watching it, like I said. But as a horror fan, it was a little disappointing for me,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Okay.
And as far as like not getting it, oh, I get it. You know, I get it. I totally get the fucking movie. You know,
Okay.
I mean, I was not confused. I was right there along the way, like, oh, okay, you know. So, I mean, acting. I thought the acting was cool, especially the daughter, like her doppelganger.
Yeah, creepy as fuck.
She was creepy as fuck. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know. And of course the dad, you know, M'Baku,
Yeah.
Winston Duke, is that his name? He was funny.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think he just did it be coming. But I mean, pretty much dads in all these movies pretty much a dumbasses. So
yeah, and he's basically the audience. He represents the audience reacting to everything.
right.
You know. So but yeah, like I said, it was okay. I liked it, but not as much as everyone's saying how great it is. You know.
Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, my analysis of it is you didn't get it, Eli. You didn't. No, I damn near agree with everything you just said.
Okay.
Be honest with you. I know you expected me to come in here and just rant. Oh, it's a 6.5 out of 10. Jordan Peele. Oh, like no, it was a good movie. Overall, I mean, pretty much agree with what you said on it. That I felt like it was an entertaining movie. It wasn't Get Out to me. Like Get Out, honestly, I felt was a 5 out of 5 movie to me, where it just hit all those beats. Was a cultural phenomenon and deserved all the praise it got. This movie, plot wise, felt kind of sloppy. It didn't feel as tight as Get Out did. It felt kind of sloppy. I guess because he wanted to make it open ended, but at the same time, it felt like you had to take too many leaps of logic to get to where he wanted you to go. And for me, it took me out of the movie to do that. Overall, it was still entertaining. I did, like I said, I'm not a horror guy, but I feel like Jordan Peele making this movie, he set out to make a more traditional horror movie than Get Out was. You know, where people kind of were confused on whether Get Out was a horror movie or not. I feel like he was trying to make a horror movie with this. He had horror movie tropes in here.
Oh yeah.
You know, the glove, you could say that's from Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
You know, the little boy, the mom's little boy was named Jason, who had a fucked up face. You know, all this stuff is homages
to twins. Yeah,
the twins from The Shining, right?
The Shining, yeah.
Right. They're not from The Shining, but they were from The Shining. Do you know those twins were on with the little girl from Jennifer Aniston's daughter on Friends?
No, I did not know that.
I found that out today. Yeah. So we're all
going
to hell.
Yeah, and it had Tim Heidecker from Tim and Eric's Super Awesome Show or whatever.
Never seen it. But.
Oh, really? It was on Adult Swim. Fucking stupid comedy shit.
Okay. Even towards the third act, I think the third act almost turned into a zombie movie.
And that's what I'm saying. And that, the third act, once the movie left the confines of the house, that's where it started to lose the steam.
Like it didn't know where it wanted to go.
Yeah, like I felt it was strongest when the clones showed up, and you didn't know what was going on, and then. You weren't sure. You know what I'm saying? There was that buildup, that tension, going into that part, and then they attack and all the shit's going on. And then when you get to the other family's house, his buddy's house,
right?
And then their doppelgangers show up, and you're like, okay, what the fuck? Is this some invasion of the body snatcher shit? Right. Then that whole scene, where they get killed, that was probably my favorite part. And then once they leave the house, and then it's this global scale. Mm-hmm. I'm like, okay, this is a zombie. Is this a zombie apocalypse now?
Right.
Because if that's what they were going for, then it lacked that epic scale, that global, scope that it needed for a zombie movie. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's where for me, that's where it started to, the tension started to drain a little bit for me. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this, okay? Like we're not gonna get into spoil. I don't think we spoiled anything yet. But let me ask you this: the twist at the end of the movie. Did you see that coming?
I not really.
Okay.
But by that time, I didn't really care. I'm like, oh, okay.
I mean, because honestly, the twist to me, it made me rethink the whole thing on a city movie. Because after I rethought about it, I was like, oh, that's why this happened. Oh, that's why they didn't do that. It painted a different picture in the movie for me. I thought it was a pretty interesting twist. It made me completely think. Slight spoilers for anybody listening, but I'm going to say this. Jordan Peele made you root for the villain. And I thought that was pretty clever, when it's all said and done to it. I mean, can we get into some of the themes about the movie? I'm not going to go too deep into it. I'm not going to get too woke with it, but some of the themes we were talking about. I mean, one of the themes, like I said, I hadn't read your analysis yet, but one of the clear themes in the movie was classism.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's it was like pretty much damn near right there in your face,
Yeah.
We're Americans, but the shadows, like you forget about and stuff like that. So.
The underground. I mean, it was like the Time Machine, the Morlocks that live underground. Mm-hmm. That was right in your face. That was definitely, apparent right there.
Right. So I mean, like I said, Time Machine, classism, that was right there in your face also. But another thing that was more in your face, and here's the thing about this movie. It wasn't about race. I mean, if you want to make it about race, you could, but it really wasn't about race. Because if the family was white, the movie would have played out the exact same way.
I suppose, yeah. I mean, there was a white family,
Right, that was right. Even though they got chopped up and shit like that, I love that part. But, even though I feel like I shouldn't, but but that's the thing. But the fact was that the movie would have played the same way, regardless of the color, because the movie wasn't about race; it was about classism. And the main theme about this movie was duality. Mm-hmm. Yeah. About how you pretty much bury yourself, like you bury your true self down. To conform yourself to society. That's basically what they're doing, because the whole time the family was trying to conform to society, they were trying to fit into society. And the thing was, at the dinner table was very interesting. Everything the dinner table foreshadows everything that's going to happen in the movie. Sorry, I'm about to get into spoilers now, but fuck it, I'm going to go for it. Like the girl says she wants to run track, but she can't do this for blah, blah, blah reasons. The mom wants to do ballet, but can't do it for such and such reasons. The boy wants to play with fire, but doesn't know how to. But meanwhile, their shadow selves excel at those areas they're scared to do. Like the girl, the girl in the regular on the surface world is scared to run track. Meanwhile, the shadow girl is fast as fuck and can run everywhere.
Yeah,
because she embraced that. None of the shadow people can speak, because speaking is how society connects with each other. Language is how they connect with each other. Mm-hmm. So they're more associated with not really conforming to society. They're pretty much they're pretty much reverting to their base state, their natural state, what they really want to do. Basically, what they want to do versus what they have to do. You can make it simple, good and evil, but I think good and evil is too simple of a concept. It's too childish of a concept for what they're trying to do here. Yeah. Because everybody's good and evil, but everybody has a good side and a bad side, and a side what they have to do versus what they want to do also. And I think the movie was trying to play on that also. So I thought that was pretty interesting what the story he was trying to tell. And that's a universal story, nothing to do with race or even with classism. It's just the duality we just do between ourselves. We behave this way here, we behave this way there.
Yeah.
And so I thought that was pretty interesting on a good way to play. And plus, you want to get into this conspiracy theory about cloning and stuff like that. And, Jordan Peele's telling us what's really going on. And we need to make sure we protect Jordan Peele before the government takes him out. Like, calm down. You're reading a little bit too much into this. You get a little too carried away. But it's fun watching people, take these conspiracy theories and put these movies. I bet you right now Jordan Peele is somewhere reading this shit and be like, damn, I never thought of that. That's actually pretty good.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Like, because for me, I thought the movie for me was a whole statement on the dark reflection of America.
Could be, like I said, us, U.S., yeah.
Yeah, us and U.S. and the use of color. Red, white, and blue was a constant motif in this movie. Mm-hmm. The kids wearing the Jaws shirt, red, white, and blue. Yep. The Frisbee. When they're on the beach, it's a red Frisbee lands on a white blanket with blue polka dots.
I didn't catch that. Okay.
Yeah, red, white, and blue. Adelaide, the main character, she's running around, white shirt stained with blood red. She's running around.
That I caught. The more the movie went on, the more red she started getting on her shirt.
Yeah, and against the blue sky, the bright blue sky. So for me, it was like the red, white, and blue in this context was just a dark reflection of the nation. Of America. I mean, the doppelgangers were, an allegory of the dark side of humanity, and that goes into like the zombie genre. Because Romero.
Zombie movies used about classism also.
Yeah, and that's what George Romero was doing in all of his zombie movies is zombies represented the dark side of man, the dark side of humanity, In Dawn of the Dead, we're us, they're them. Or no, we're them and they're us, That's a line. And then the anxiety. Adelaide anxiety. She had this. She was suffering from post-traumatic stress.
Yep.
She had this trauma, trying to get over it, and basically, with all the red, white, and blue, and in this dark context, that this nation has a very violent past. Has some, all the atrocities that has been committed by this nation.
Mm-hmm.
It still affects the population.
I was wondering where you were if you were gonna go there.
Yeah, I mean, to me, that's what this and the whole Hands Across America thing.
Mm-hmm.
This lame attempt to unify the nation back in the 80s.
Right.
But that's what the anxiety, this post-traumatic stress that Adelaide was suffering. That's just an allegory for the U.S. not dealing with its past.
Right.
Its violent past.
They're trying to
and
bury their past, right?
Yeah, and they don't, people deny it. People deny that oppression has happened and denied all the atrocities this country has committed, yet it still affects us the way anxiety does. When you get it, people with anxiety and post-traumatic stress, they try to bury it. They try to hide from it. They try to, lock it away. But it's still there, bubbling underneath the surface, affecting their everyday life. And I was going to say another thing also, how people, like I said, when they go through a traumatic situation, sometimes they don't come out the same person. They become somebody else because that traumatic situation changed them so much. You could say that was a metaphor for that also. Yeah, and until you come to terms with that, until the nation comes to terms with this oppressive past, it's still going to affect what's going on today. And we feel that. I mean, if it still affects the citizens today. We still feel the pressures of what has happened in the past, and that is why we are so divided. Mm-hmm. So that's one of the things I saw in that. I thought was very apparent to me. I don't know if that was intentional, but I thought it was quite interesting, and the doppelgangers were just a reflection of the nation's past. Right. Our forgotten selves that coming we back, try not. Right, coming back to haunt them. Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So. Because it was interesting when he said, who are you? We're Americans. We're Americans, and then she gives her shackles and chains. Yeah, and she was in chains the entire time in the movie. I didn't realize that. Yeah, yeah. They were a slave race yearning to be free. She, spoiler alert, she was trying to liberate them from their oppressions. They were a forgotten. I mean. Know what the fuck happened. They were a forgotten experiment or whatever. Some experiment gone wrong, or it's not really explained, but that's what it's alluded to, that it was some government experiment, cloning people or whatever the fuck. Right. And they were kind of abandoned. They abandoned the project. And this forgotten, race of people wanted freedom. You know what I mean? The and you can read that as, the disenfranchised, that you can read that as racism. Yep. Or whatever, or slavery, or genocide, or whatever, attach it to whatever, corruption, corruption that America has done. Right. So, yeah. So, like I said, the discussion of the movie seems to be more engaging than the actual movie, if that makes any sense. Yeah, and that's the thing is on that level, it's full of all these great ideas, but as a movie. Right, the execution of the movie, right. Yeah, because when I remember watching Get Out, and you're watching this thing and you're sitting there thinking, what the fuck is going on? What are these people doing? Right. Are they making slaves? Are they trying to, give them lobotomies? You had all these theories watching this movie, and then when they finally explain it, it was, for me, I didn't figure it out. It was way more fucked up than anything I was already thinking. Right. So I was like, body transplant, organ, trafficking. Yeah, that's really which is shit that happens. Yeah. But when they finally dropped it on us, I was like, what the fuck? Yeah. And then so I'm watching this movie and I'm thinking, okay, is it the invasion of the body snatchers? Is it cloning? Is it aliens? Is it, I'm thinking all this shit, and then it said, oh yeah, it's some kind of cloning thing. Yeah. I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, okay. Well, that's
Where
what it
you
is.
kind of halfway figured out already, like, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, you thinking
Okay.
it was something more than that. You know, maybe like a mirror dimension. They stepped out of the mirror and came to get him or something. You
Yeah,
know.
I was thinking like, is it's fucking like a Carnival of Souls, or are they gonna realize that the family was dead the whole time, or some shit?
Right.
I was going.
But
I was
here's
thinking all
my
kinds-
thing, Eli. Jordan Peele seems to make horror movies for people that aren't into horror movies.
Yeah, and I
So
was.
yeah, so he's doing. I feel like he's doing this on purpose, where he does kind of spoon feed some shit to us. You know, like if you were like really into horror, some of this shit you could see a mile away. But folks that aren't into it, they
Yeah.
don't see it.
And I was just talking about that with somebody the other day. I was like, this is like a horror movie for non-horror fans.
Yeah,
It's like
because
it's
like I
like
said, the theater I was in, like I said, number of black people in there. You know, black people don't do horror movies. We don't. We go through enough stressful shit all the time, so we don't need to see more stressful shit. Especially when we're the first one to get killed in these movies anyway. So, but when we go see this movie, a lot of times that I guess other people probably wouldn't jump at, people were jumping at every single fucking thing that was going in this movie. Like it was scaring the shit out of people.
yeah, I was in a theater with a lot of black folks too.
Yeah.
And I found myself laughing at
Right.
a lot of shit that I found myself the only one laughing at a lot of shit.
This shit
Especially
is not funny,
when-
Eli.
Like when the dude fucking got the motorboat, when the dad killed his clone on the motorboat,
Yeah.
and all that blood, I went, oh shit! I like yelled.
Here's the thing.
I
Half
was the
the
loud
theater
one.
covered their eyes when that happened.
I
I
went,
watched
"Oh."
them. He covered their eyes when that happened. Like it's too much for us.
And then when he said the hide a key or whatever, when she was opening
Yeah.
the door,
Oh, that's some white
Hell.
people shit. You know?
what the hell kind of white shit is this? And I
Yeah, that
think I was
funny, right?
I think I was the only one who laughed. Because for me, that's what I was waiting for.
Right.
You know, when I was in the theater, when they showed up on the driveway,
Mhm.
you know, that first shot of it when, hey, there's somebody outside. And then
Right.
it shows the shot of them in the driveway. I heard some dude yell out, oh, hell no. But for me, as a horror fan, I'm like, okay, finally.
Right.
This is what I've been waiting for.
So that's the thing. So yeah, Jordan Peele. Even though I know Jordan Peele knows the genre back and forth, he knows this shit, but he's dumbing this shit down for the audience. He really is, and he has to because
It's accessible horror.
it's accessible horror. He has to because he's such a big name now. And like I said, I think I looked up. They said it already broke a record for the most original, like the highest grossing original horror movie of all time, or some shit like that. So yeah, he has to spoon feed people horror for what he's doing.
Yeah.
He knows how to do this shit, but he knows how to make it accessible for people.
And it's cool. I mean, and as a horror fan, I was getting all the references, the Michael Jackson Thriller.
Right.
You know, I mean, for a lot of people, that was probably their first introduction to horror. You know,
Right. Like Jaws and On the Beach.
Yeah.
I mean, some of those scenes I think he even took from other horror movies. You know, like references, things like that. Like, when the dad was in the water and his clone jumped out and grabbed him and just stuck him in the water. That's right at Friday the 13th.
yeah,
You know.
that was totally Friday.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not a horror guy, but I recognize that shit.
Yeah, or the Lost Boys reference.
The Lost Boys reference, exactly.
Yeah,
So he's throwing this stuff in, and so like it's like if you are in horror, you're gonna catch stuff, but if you're not, we're not gonna know this stuff. You know.
Yeah,
Like maybe like I said, we said earlier, the boy's name is Jason. You know?
yeah. I mean, there was some really cool. Like, I like the originality of it. I like that he swung for the fences. He's bold enough to just take
Yeah.
these chances.
He's making the movie he wants to make.
Yeah,
And I
you know.
appreciate that, you know.
Yeah, it's just like I think towards the end it got away from him, you know. And you know what I mean? He's not, you know. He's you know he's gonna make another masterpiece. I think he has it in him
Yeah.
to give us that masterpiece, you know.
Yeah. And it's not a bad movie.
Yeah,
It's not like, you know, we saw Get Out and we saw the movie like, oh, this movie fucking sucked. Like, no, it's not a bad movie. It's still a good movie. It's just not, he didn't just give us another classic, you know. It's just a good movie.
Yeah.
It's entertaining,
Yeah.
so.
It's his Prince of Darkness or whatever.
Right.
I'm referencing John Carpenter. You know,
Right.
it's one of his, you know. It's not bad, but it's not The Thing or Halloween. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Because it felt like Get Out was the movie that he wanted to make all his life. And Us was just like, okay, I made this movie that I've been working my life to do. Now let me just make something else. And that's what this felt like.
Yeah, Get Out seemed like that was Yeah, you could tell he had been thinking about that for a while.
Yeah, because even the way he was saying, he like so much of that shit is his life. Like some of those scenes came from his life. You know, he's
Yeah,
married to a white woman. You know,
yeah.
for those
All
that
our
don't know,
lives.
the woman
Yeah,
he's married to is the
yeah,
cop on Brooklyn Nine-Nine or something. Yeah,
yeah. That's right. Oh, Gina. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, we all related to that. I mean, we're all, as colored folk, we all been there. You know,
get anxiety. You in a room full of white people. That shit is scary as fuck. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
yeah. You hear them say some shit,
Right.
and you're like, should I be that guy?
Right. To be honest with you, to me, that was the scariest part of the movie before the white folks even went crazy.
I mean, yeah, they nailed it. And I mean,
Right.
I was like, damn, well, I'm way out in the sticks.
Right. Anything could happen.
There's no buses gonna come pick me up. I can't. I need a ride out of here, and I don't want to go. And it better not be a cop car.
Right. Oh, right. Did I give a score? Okay, my score, 4 out of 5. I give it 4 out of 5 because honestly, because the movie sticks with you after you watch it. You do sit there and you think about the themes and stuff like that. Like, oh, okay, cool. And some stuff that just hit me like, oh shit, that's what he was trying to say. You know, when it hit me later on. So that's why I give it a 4 out of 5. Not a perfect movie, not a classic, but it's a good, solid. And I thought it was an entertaining movie also. Plus, Lupita. Mm-hmm. I think she needs to get nominated for Oscar for this.
Yeah, that was some cool shit.
That was cool shit. And if there's some better performances than her this year, I want to see that shit because that was some Oscar nominated shit she did.
And that's what I liked about it. I mean, the way they portrayed anxiety, you know, her anxiety, like how she's all this, everyone's around you having fun, but she's still worried about some shit.
Right.
And just how they portrayed that in the movie, I thought that was fucking great, you know, and it just added that layer of tension. Like I'm saying, it was like building up,
right.
You know, slowly building, and you know,
and just the fact that she was playing the hero and the villain.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that and it felt like it was two different people.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want to see what they do with that, man. Here's the thing, Lupita is like she played in Black Panther, directed by Ryan Coogler, made an awesome performance. Jordan Peele made an awesome performance. She's been in a Star Wars movie and pretty much was a forgettable character. Like, what the hell? We gotta do better, man. Lupita is too good for this shit, man.
Yeah.
All right, can we go on to the next thing?
Sure.
What is the next thing? Oh, yeah. Let's talk about it. Okay. Dora the Explorer?
Sure. You want to talk about it?
Now, I know you're a huge fan, right? I've never seen an episode of Dora the Explorer. I don't know what the fuck it is. I don't know what channel it comes on. I don't know what the fuck it is, but apparently it's a big thing. And
it's a kid's show. Yeah, the kids watch it.
It's a kid's show, but here's the thing, Eli. This is how we know we're getting old. Because, okay, about 20 years ago is about when the comic book boom started hitting, right?
Yeah.
But that's because that's about the time we started to become into adulthood. Well, rewind the time 20 years later, now we got an adult Dora the Explorer. So what did that tell you? Those kids are starting to come into adulthood now. Or starting to, you know, her fan base is starting to get older where you can make a movie like this that probably can make money. You know? Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know anything about Dora the Explorer. I do know that there was a College Humor YouTube parody video that came out a couple years ago. And honestly, that looked better than this movie. From the trailer. I mean, because a lot of people didn't even believe this was a real movie. They were like, well, this is a YouTube parody, right? Like, no, it's a real fucking movie, you know, with this girl. So, and I do want to make this, I've seen a lot of comments about this girl. Stand down, fellas. She's 17. Calm the fuck down.
I didn't even watch the trailer, so I don't even like.
Okay, it doesn't matter. It's
exactly funny. Like you've never seen an episode and you wanted to talk about this.
I do want to talk about it because it's interesting. This whole thing about it since you haven't watched the trailer, basically what they did, they turned Dora the Explorer into Lara Croft, basically.
Okay.
Which I've never seen it before, but I'm like, is that how that works?
Well, I think the show that's what she does. I mean, I've seen an episode or two because I have kids, you know.
Okay.
And that's what she does. She runs around the woods, finding shit.
I mean, does she raid tombs and shit? Because that's what she's doing in this trailer.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I guess.
She's got a little monkey, and then they speak Spanish.
The monkey shows up, a big CGI monkey that looks fake as fuck. He's there, you know. So I don't know. I guess it looks like, but like I said, it looks like a Tomb Raider movie with Dora the Explorer here. And here's what I want to talk about the movie. The reason I want to talk about the movie because the casting of the movie. Do you know who's doing the voice of the monkey?
Eddie Murphy?
No, which would be funny. Danny Trejo.
Oh, really? I get. Oh,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
And see, here's the thing. Like, if you look at the casting of the movie of Dora the Explorer, pretty much everybody in the movie is Latino. Hispanic.
Yeah, that's what they did. They spoke Spanish on the show.
But this is Hollywood. They don't do that.
Okay.
They'll probably hire like one Latino actress like they did it, and everybody else is a bunch of white folks. That's how they normally do this. But no, they're going all out. They're trying to promote this movie. I even hear Spanish in the trailers, things like that. So they're promoting this movie as this is. So Dora is supposed to be their Black Panther.
I guess
That's what it seems like. So
yeah, I mean, yeah, but that was what the show was. The show was like educational, and it spoke Spanish. Like they would say Spanish shit.
Yeah.
Spanish,
Yeah, so I guess it would be weird, if I don't know, Ryan Gosling played her dad or some shit like that,
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, that would interest me. So they're really putting money behind this, and I think that I don't know, this movie's either gonna be a huge hit or a bomb, one or the other. And it comes out this year. So
well, it's for kids. I mean, I'm sure kids. It's a kids movie. That's why
I'm just saying. It seems like a kids movie, but she seems not like I'm not being creepy. I'm just saying she seems a little too older to be Dora. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And so I thought if it was for kids, maybe she would have been younger or something.
Well, maybe for not young kids. Maybe like the 10 to 11 to 12 crowd.
Gotcha. Because like I said, the movie looks like a Tomb Raider movie.
Yeah.
Like if I didn't know it was Dora the Explorer, I thought it was Tomb Raider 3 or some shit. So I don't know. We will see how Dora the Explorer goes. It's interesting. I'm not going to see the movie, but I'm curious to see what happens with those numbers. Yeah. Let me see. Can we go on to the next part of the podcast?
Sure.
Let's talk about the video game section. Okay. So a lot of stuff happened this weekend, but I'm not going to talk about everything that happened. One thing that did happen that really caught my attention was Google. Now, apparently, Eli, Google wants to kill all consoles. And how they want to do this, they came out with this new system called the Stadia. I may be fucking the name of it. It's called the Google Stadia.
Now, it's a console.
It's not a console.
It's not a console.
It's not a console. Like I said, they're trying to kill consoles. All consoles. This is the console killer. So
okay.
What they're doing, Google Stadia is supposed to play like the same games that the consoles are playing. Like any game you can name, those same games, they're going to play them. But you can play them on any device. Any device. Computer, your cell phone, your laptop, your iPad, doesn't matter. You can play Devil May Cry 5 on your iPad. That's what they're trying to do.
How the fuck do I do that?
So, okay.
Controller?
I'm glad yes, any controller.
Okay.
They have a special made controller that works on Wi-Fi that if you have it on your iPad, you can point your controller at that. If you try to switch to your cell phone, you point it at that, and it will play it just fine. It looks just like a regular Xbox controller.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, or you could just use your PS4 or your Xbox controller hooked by Bluetooth and play it that way. Whatever you want to do, it can be done.
Huh.
So that's what they're saying. But here's the but. It's going to
There's
be
always a but.
Always a but. Always a big but. So apparently it's going to be streaming based. And that's the part that made me go, hold on. I don't know about that. So you're going to be streaming the games through these systems. Now here's the thing. PlayStation and Xbox already have streaming services. They have PS Now, they have Xbox Game Live or some bullshit like that. But here's the thing. Those streaming services suck. There's so much lag in them. Those games half the time are unplayable. And 90% of Americans don't have high-speed internet to even play a game like that. Mm-hmm. So I did dig deeper to find out what's going on. And Gomer and I had conversation about this. Gomer broke it down for me. Shout out to Gomer, Comic Cast, and this Geeks and Comics. He broke it down for me. Basically, what he's saying, but basically, Google is going to run it off their own servers, their own clan-based servers, which it's Google, so of course they have them. And apparently, their servers will be able to run these games faster than just off the regular internet like PlayStation and Xbox can. So they'll be able to stream it fast enough where there won't be any lag, and you will be able to play online with other people. So you can play.
So they're like basically inventing a separate internet?
No, they're saying they already have.
Okay.
When
Like that, like Silicon Valley. Like, you ever watch that show, Silicon Valley?
I haven't, I heard of it, but I didn't know what it
Yeah.
was about. So
It's funny. It's funny as fuck, but that's what they were trying to do.
okay,
Like,
so
invent another internet.
okay, so basically, they're saying that Google has already done this stuff years ago, and they're basically running this stuff through there, so that's going to be able to play these games. So yeah, so like I said, if I can play Devil May Cry 5 on an iPad, why would I need an Xbox or a PlayStation?
I guess.
Especially if it runs the exact same way. So,
No.
but like I said, Google is promising us the world, but the promises they're giving us so tall. I'm just like, hold on, step back and see what happens. It's supposed to come out this year, so we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
I don't know.
How much is this shit gonna cost?
Oh no, they didn't give a price. But if you have to ask, you can't afford it.
Yeah.
What else we got on the list? Remember we talked about shitty movie games coming out?
Yeah.
Okay, Marvel has one coming out.
Shitty movie game.
Yeah, shitty movie game. We never get enough of them. So apparently there is a Iron Man VR game coming out.
Okay.
We're really pushing this VR technology for some reason. The trailer starts off with Tony Stark sitting in his private jet talking to Friday. He gets attacked by some supervillain. He flies out. He tells the suit to come attach to him. The suit flies, and then you fly around and you blow up shit and stuff like that. So pretty much your standard VR game. It looks like another shitty VR game, but who knows? Eventually somebody's gonna make a good VR game and turn the world on its ear. Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see. Probably not this one.
I haven't gotten into the whole VR and Oculus. I got like that one when I upgraded my phone like a year or two ago. They gave me those Oculus headsets and shit for free with the upgrade.
Yeah.
Have tried to use it once, but then you got to like download all these apps and it costs shit. And like,
it's not there yet. It's not there.
Yeah.
We're a ways away from VR. They're really trying to push it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I can go hang gliding.
Like, wee, just look around and shit,
Yeah.
Just so, well, that means they can move on to the next part of the podcast. Yeah, let's do it. Okay.
Yep.
So, this is the part where we talk about where we pay the bills, where we actually talk about the comic books that came out this week. And I went digging and actually found some good reads that I've been waiting for, and it's been exciting for me. Eli, I think you got more books than I do.
I only got a couple.
You only got a
I
couple?
think you got more books, man.
Do I? That's weird. I don't read shit. But anyway, what book do I want to do first? The book I want to do first is actually Justice League. Justice League number 20. I know I should do another book for them, but I actually kind of like this Justice League book here. Even though I didn't know what the fuck was going on, but let's do it anyway. So apparently, like I said, Eli, how many known dimensions do we know of?
52.
4.
Oh, in this one, or
in real life,
But you're asking me some comic book shit.
Like, no. Basically, we have 4 dimensions. You have the 1 dimension. You have 2 dimensions with this line. 3 dimensions, what we're seeing right now. 4 dimensions, time, blah, blah. But the Justice League has traveled to the 6th dimension.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know what the fuck the 6th dimension is. I should have read the last book, but who cares? Let's keep going. Anyway, they're in, looks like the future, and they meet the future Justice League. And the Justice League is basically told them that they've saved everything. They've stopped crime. Everything is a utopia now. The Hall of Justice is awesome. Gotham City has been cleaned up. Batman goes to Gotham City, but guess what? He finds out in the future Bruce Wayne is dead. But the Batman of that future takes off his mask, and it's Dick Grayson. And Dick Grayson tells him, yeah, I carried on your legacy. Even though you died saving Gotham, you fixed Gotham, and I'm carrying your legacy to make sure everything stays the way it is. So you fixed it. We also cut to Barry and John Stewart, and basically Barry said he was able to fix it where he can travel back in time without, flashpointing everything and fuck up the timeline. So he can go see his grandkids, he can go see his mom, he can see Iris, he can do whatever the fuck he wants to, because he's learned how to master Speed Force just that much, We also cut to Martian Manhunter and Hawk Girl, and apparently they're married with a little Martian Thanagar hybrid or something. They're like a little Martian with wings and some shit, But they're married and in love and shit like that, which actually Scott Snyder had already been, shipping them to begin with early in the series. So watching them being married in the future is not really that surprising if you've been keeping up with the book, So basically that's what it is. The the Justice League are visiting the future. Everything is safe. They're telling them about basically, since the multiverse is dying, they're trying to save the omniverse, which is bigger than the multiverse. And because Perpetua, this evil, deity that has been going around fucking up shit, apparently she is the mother of the Anti-Monitor and all these other evil assholes that have been going around destroying the multiverse, shit like that. She's their mother, and she's coming back to destroy everything. But Lex Luthor has kidnapped her and training her to basically use her as a weapon for himself. That's because he's Lex Luthor. That's what he does. But the book ends somehow with a little baby Martian Thanagar hybrid talking to Martian Manhunter and Hawkgirl, telling them, "You need to get out of here. Everything you think is happening isn't what's going on." And then he mind does some shit to them, and they're like, "Oh my god!" But they never explain what the hell's going on. So the book ends with Superman, because like I said, I never talked about Superman in this book. He's trapped somewhere that he can't get out, and while he's trying to get out of there, the future older Superman flies down and like, "Clark, we had to take you off the table for a reason. Now let's talk." And that's how the book ends. So apparently, Mr. Mixioplicknick is fucking up some shit because Lex Luthor has taken control of him also to take control of Perpetua, try to take control.
I was going to ask about him. I was like, does he got something to do with that?
He does, but we don't really know what. Apparently, we think that Lex Luthor has some kind of cosmic device that is controlling Mr. Mixioplicknick, which is sending the Justice League to the 6th dimension. Because he's from the 5th dimension, but they skipped over the 5th dimension, so I don't know.
I thought he was from the 8th. What do I know?
Well, we don't know what the 8th is. That's for next year. So overall, pretty cool book. I didn't read the first arc of it, so I was a little lost. I probably, if I read I read the other book, I probably would have known. Overall, give it a 3.5 out of 5. It seems like a new creative. Scott Snyder's still there, but it seems like everybody else is it's a new creative team that's in there. So they're kind of bringing new life into the book. So we'll see where it goes. So that's all I got with them.
All right, cool. All right, I will go with Bitterroot number 5.
Let's do it.
Written by David F. Walker, Chuck Brown, Sanford Green. Art by Rico Renzi, Sanford Green, and Clayton Cowles. Out by Image. I dig this book. I love this book. This is the last issue of this first story arc. And basically, it takes place back in the early 1900s. We follow this African-American family who fights demons in Harlem. These demons are called Jinnu. They like these monsters, these demons that possess people, feeding off of negative energy. And this family basically fights them and with magic and steampunk weapons and shit. It's kind of like Evil Dead, So this basically is like I said, it's the last issue in this first story arc. Harlem is under attack by a bunch of cops that got possessed by these demons. The grandma Ma Etta is trying to cure Berg. He's been infected. The teenage girl Blink, she's battling the demon hordes. That badass demon slayer from the south, his name's Ford. He arrives just in time. He's helping out their uncle. His magic ain't working and shit. And then last issue, the dude Cullen got sucked into the demon world, so he's fighting the demons on the other side and shit. And then there's these two other characters called Dr. Sylvester and Miss Nightdale. They're infected with another demon called Inzandus, and they're basically using those demons to fight the other demons and shit. So it's just this big final battle and shit, and it's just awesome. I've been digging the story, and the book it's full of full of social commentary. It's all racism. The demons are the Jinnu, the demons. They're basically a physical embodiment of racism. They feed off of fear and hate, and they possess people. And then the Dr. Sylvester and Miss Nightdale, they're infected with these other demons called Nzandu, who feed off of sorrow and anger. And so basically they're the result of racism. And that's kind of the big statement that this book is making. Fear and hate causes racism, and then it causes trauma and pain. And then these two forces are colliding with each other. And And what do you do? You know, it just basically asks the question: how do we battle this? How do we fight racism? It's kind of like the underlying theme of this book. But overall, it's fun. It's like the art's really cartoony. It's a lot of action. There's a lot of several plot lines going on at the same time, but the writers do a good job at balancing everything. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I give it a 5 out of 5. I was so compelled to write a review on it. So go check it out on Outright Geekery. Bitterroot number 5. I've actually passed it, like been sending it out, hashtagging everybody, tagging people in it. I sent one to Sanford Green, one of the artists. And he actually gave me a thumbs up.
Nice. Okay.
So
you're helping us get our name out there. So
he responded to me. I was like, hey, Sanford Green responded to me. So there you go. So Bitterroot number 5. Read it.
Cool. Okay. Eli recommended. So
yeah.
Next book we have is Naomi number 3. A lot of people forgot this book even existed, but I wanted to keep up with it because I want to know what the fuck was going on. You know. So basically, how the book starts off, like I said, last issue, that huge mechanic named D. You know, she found some picture with some black woman in there. She want to know, who is this black woman? You know her? Like, is this my mother? Are you my father? And D is telling her, no, that's not your mother, and I'm not your father. Basically, I'm not even from here. I'm an alien. Basically, he tells a story of who he is and who the girl in the picture was. He's like, they're Thanagarians. You don't know who a Thanagarian is. They're Hawk people, basically. Hawkman, Hawk Girl, or stuff like that. So they were in the Thanagarian army. They fought stuff like that. They fell in love. You know, they tried to run away from him because they got sick of the shit and they wanted to, you know, live a happy life with themselves. So they tried to run away, but D wasn't able to get her with her. So she got stuck wherever she was, and he got stranded on Earth. And he's just been here, just living, you know, without the love of his life, just making it. And she's like, what does that have to do with me? He's like, nothing. And she's like, but then as soon as she says that, you know, her adopted mom opens the garage door with the baseball bat and said, D, what are you doing here? Why? What did you tell her? And she just starts wrecking the mechanic shop with a baseball bat, just smashing everything, and then starts slapping the shit out of D. Now keep in mind, her mom is like small as hell. D is like 12 foot tall. She's just slapping the shit out of him. You know, and they almost freaking like, Mom, I've never seen you do anything like that. I never even, you know, do any type of violence, stuff like that. You just go around slapping this guy, and he didn't even do anything. Like, he looked like he was scared of her, you know. And then the mom, you know, her adopted mom and adopted dads be like, look, it's time we show you, you know, what's really going on. We didn't lie to you, but we didn't tell you what's really going on. So they drive her to some place. The dad takes her to some like kind of deep cave. It's time for you to see this. And he pulls out this thing, I guess this remote control, something like that, and it's a spaceship. And Naomi's like, oh, is that the spaceship I came in? And the foster dad's like, no, this spaceship I came in. And then he turns into like this crazy ass looking alien and shit like that. And that's how the book ends.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. So I still don't know what the fuck is going on. So I got to read. Overall, cool book. Like I said, one reason I keep reading because, like I said, the artwork is awesome. Whoever the hell they got drawn is awesome. They're still dangling it. They're still not giving you everything they want in this book, but they do have some tie-ins from this to like Young Justice. So whatever Naomi's going to be, they're going to toss her in Young Justice. I already see this shit coming a mile away. Overall, get the book a 3.5 out of 5. So yeah. Cool.
All right, I guess the other book I read was Miles Morales, Spider-Man, number 4.
Okay.
And I listened to Comic Cast yesterday, and they said they right away they said it's like Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Okay.
And it is.
I'm
and
interested.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, it's just a day in the life of Miles Morales. He's ditching school to go to the museum and look at some hip hop exhibit. So he's trying to, he's ditching school, but then the principal is trying to bust him. So it's like the principal from Ferris Bueller. He's like, you know, sneaking around trying to find Miles Morales. Miles Morales is, getting into adventures. There's a shit happens on the subway. The subway train almost crashes. He saves him. He gets to the museum. Some weird Batman-like villain called the Frost Pharaoh shows up and he fights them. You know, so all this shit's just going on, you know, during the day, ditching school. And then the principal is trying to find him, you know, trying to catch him in the act, you know, to prove that he's been missing, you know, he's been ditching classes. He's been absent, all these absences and shit. There's this really funny part towards the end when they're trying to make it back to the dorms to so they can say they were there all day. They were playing sick, and it's like a map. It's a fucking whole 2-page splash of the map of the city and all the cars kind of going everywhere. And it reminded me of it's totally like that scene from Ferris Bueller where he's running home and the parents are coming and
which was homaged in Spider-Man: Homecoming also.
Yeah, that whole bow.
Matter of fact, Ferris Bueller was actually playing in the background when he was doing that. So
yeah, bow, do, 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 chick, chick, chick.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So yeah, it was a fun book. I gave it a 4 out of 5. I've been digging this book, the Miles Morales book. 4 out of 5. Next month, The Guns of Tombstone. So can't wait.
Nice. Okay. Eli, I'm gonna need your help with this one. I guess this is our book of the week. I guess I don't know.
Okay.
Next we're gonna do is Guardians of the Galaxy #3. Well, let me say the all new, all different Guardians of the Galaxy 3. No. Based how the book starts off, we got Star Fox. Do a barrel roll. I gotta say it every time. He's pondering, his dead brother Thanos, his life, and realize how he always lived in Thanos' shadow, but now he realized that the more he's becoming Thanos because he created the Dark Guardians, these crazy evil assholes, but they call themselves the Guardians of the Galaxy. And basically what they're doing is they're trying to find Gamora, but they can't find Gamora, but so they find the next best thing to find Gamora, which is going to be Nova, aka Dick Ryder. So they find him, beat the shit out of Nova, but they don't want to kill Nova because they got to
Nova. I thought, okay, sorry. I was like Nebula. I thought I got confused with Nebula.
Too many, right. So it's confusing.
But Nova, yeah, right, yeah.
Yeah, so Nova.
Said Nebula, Dick Ryder. I'm like, oh,
no.
Oh, wait, okay,
Maybe Nebula's a Dick Ryder. We will find out in Infinity War when she's stuck up there with Tony Stark. We don't know.
Yeah, I was a little, sorry.
Oh, no problem. Okay, so they beat the shit out of Nova. And they basically ask Nova, are you going to help us find Gamora or not? And Nova just takes off. And it's like, well, anybody going to chase after him? And even Cosmo Rider said, he's too fast even for me. None of you can catch him. But Nebula basically puts a track on him, so wherever he goes, they're going to know. So we cut to the real Guardians of the Galaxy. And basically, Peter Quill is drunk off his ass, don't want to do anything. And Groot is sick of this shit, so Groot creates a mutiny. You know what? And the funny thing is, like, apparently, we don't know where Richard Rider's going, but the name of the Guardian ship now is the Rider, which is named after Winona Ryder, whatever. So anyway, Groot says, fuck this, look at me. I'm the captain now. So he takes over the ship. He's the new commander now. And he tells Peter Quill, you go sit the fuck down, or I'm going to have my second commanding officer kick you off the ship. Like, second commanding officer? Who's second commanding officer? He turns around, it's Beta Ray Bill. He was like, sit down, Quill. He's like, you lucky. You got this Asgardian horse behind me, otherwise I kick everybody's ass in here. But anyway, he goes to his seat and sits down. And we also got some other bullshit where Hela goes to the negative zone, beats the shit out of Annihilus to get Thanos' head.
That was my favorite part, man.
I know. I kind of breezed over that because my favorite part was Beta Ray Bill bitching out Quill. That was my favorite part.
Yeah, that was funny too.
But Hela bitching out Annihilus and telling him, I know when you're gonna die, how you're gonna die, where you're gonna die, all that stuff like that. That was pretty funny. But anyway, to wrap the story up, Groot is basically telling the new Guardians where they're headed to now, how to find Gamora, because Peter and Groot made a pact that they were never gonna tell anybody. And so, they know where Gamora is. She's in Half-World. Half-World is the planet where they created Rocket. So apparently she's looking for Rocket for something, maybe to kill him or something. I don't know. But anyway, they're going to Half-World. And obviously Nova is going to Half-World, which means the Dark Guardians are going to Half-World, which means the regular Guardians are going to Half-World. So, that seems like that's where everybody's going next issue.
It's like the ending of True Romance, yo.
Basically.
Yeah.
So, like I said, Donny Cates, y'all.
Yeah. This is cool. I mean, like I said, I've never really gotten into the cosmic side of Marvel, but I actually went back and read some of that old, it's not that old, it's just a few years ago, but Jeff Lemire's Thanos run, and I guess Cates took it over.
Yeah.
So just to get familiar with what's going on, it's leading up to Thanos dying and all that shit. So which is what they're dealing with in this book. But yeah, I like there's the Dark Avengers and the Good Avengers. One group wants to kill Gamora, the other one's trying to save her. So it's fun.
Now, just to be on the safe side, you did read Annihilation, right?
And now, oh yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Listeners, I want to make a recommendation. If you're trying to get into Cosmic Marvel, start with Annihilation.
Yeah, that
Ignore
you
everything before that. Pick up
yeah, you did
Annihilation.
tell me that.
Yeah. Right,
Yeah.
I know I said it before. I will say it as many times as I need to because Annihilation is fucking awesome. It came out the same year as Civil War and was a much better story.
Yeah. You ever see Galactus get his ass whooped?
Right. Thanos is the Thaniosis. Nova is a fucking badass. You want to know why they want to make a Nova movie so bad? Go read that story and you'll see it. It's actually like it plants the seeds for the Guardians of the Galaxy because Star-Lord is in there. Drax is in there. Drax actually trains Nova. Weird.
Drax is actually a badass.
Drax is a fucking badass in that book. That's why I'm so
I ain't even gonna say what he does.
Right, I'm not even gonna say what he does, but that's why I get pissed when we watch the movie because he's nothing like the comic. You do not fuck with Drax with comic Drax.
Yeah.
So, but that's what the real. And then start from Annihilation, just work your way from there. Annihilation Conquest. And if you're going to read the Dan, I'm trying to remember the Dan Abnett and Annie Lane. Am I saying that right? I'm fucking it up, Anna.
Dan Abbott?
Dan Abnett and Andy Lanning.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, they call him DNA. Read the DNA run of Guardians of the Galaxy, and I think they also did Nova at the same time also. Read both of those stories back to back. You got to read both because it's like two halves of the same story. So those are my recommendations if you want to, get into Cosmic Marvel. Basically, Annihilation and move from there.
Yeah.
You thank me later. That's all I got. If you got any more books, yeah.
That's all I got. Yeah.
Really? Oh, I thought you had like 5 or 6 more. Okay.
I gotta take a piss. Well, okay. Well, I got Hulk. Yeah, Hulk was cool. 4 out of 5.
Okay, cool. Let's keep going. All right. So definitely, if you that was me last week.
Yeah, Hulk was good. Immortal Hulk. It's been awesome. Doc Samson shows up. That's fucking cool. Read it.
Cool. That being said, if you listen this long, definitely like, share, and subscribe. I'm pretty sure Eli next week is Detective Comics 1000. I checked the schedule. It's supposed to be next week.
Okay. So, what about Shazam? When's Shazam out?
Oh, March 5th. I think that's the week after.
Oh, okay. I thought it was coming out.
We got time. So
I see people. I read a spoiler-free review of Shazam out now.
Right, because the sneak preview came out last week. Well, actually this weekend, which I didn't see, but I could have saw it if I wanted to. But I didn't because I saw Us, and I didn't want to have too many movies in my head at the time. That's all.
Yeah. Well, fucking Cliff already seen it. I'm like, what the hell, man?
Right. Oh, the comics gators are loving this. Shazam is the White Knight already. It's a better movie than Captain Marvel. Like, why are you comparing them? Like, why?
Should we just be assholes and say how he appropriated Egyptian culture?
Oh, we got time. We got time.
I just want to troll.
Everybody else is doing it. We might as well jump in the bandwagon too. So. Like I said, you listen this long, if like, share, subscribe. We have our sister podcast, Geeks Have. We also have a comic cast. We're gonna do a bunch of books, also more books than we did. But get their opinion on the books that we did. Also, see what they say from there. We have This Geeks and Comics. We have Hoodoo TV. We have Get Valiant. We have Instruments of Destruction. We have. Did I say Hulu? Hoodoo.
You did now.
Okay, I said it. And probably some other ones, but I forgot about them. Like I said, next week I'm gonna give you the schedule. We're gonna do Detective Comics 1000. Week after that, we're gonna do Shazam. Week after that, I have no idea. We'll figure it out. And yeah, that being said, this is Leroy.
This is Eli.
And we will talk to you guys next week. Same bullet time, same bullet channel.